The program actually started in 1994 with one dinner service for a shelter with 20 volunteers from the parish. And at that time, they had, had produced 200 meals. And this was really a collaborative effort with the San Francisco Interfaith Council at the time. And over the years, we have built partnerships with community-based organizations located in the city, some of which have been Hamilton House, the Sisters of Charity, Hospitality House, just to name a few. And we've also sort of remained committed to the San Francisco Interfaith Winter Shelter Program. And over the years, we've recruited a lot of volunteers from the parish as well as from the community. And we've also have had a lot of fundraising efforts through the parish as well as through grant writing. Some of our foundations that have supported us in the past have included the Gellert Foundation, the Sandy Foundation, Langendorf Foundation, just to name a few. So basically, up until March of 2020, we aimed to support community-based organizations that provided meal services to vulnerable populations in San Francisco. And through the years, if you think about starting with 200 meals, for many, many years now, we've been providing roughly 12,000 meals annually. And we've done that by consistently providing those meals 2 weekends every month, both on Saturday and Sundays. And I just thought our goal really with the program is to provide nutritious meals prepared with fresh ingredients. So these are just, a couple of fun little shots from the kitchen over the years. A very typical meal that we would prepare would be, roasted chicken, fresh broccoli with, just a vegetable medley there. And then of course, a starch of some sort. And I wanted to circle back to the volunteers and just say that so much of the work that we've done was not possible without all of our volunteers. We had over 300 volunteers, probably for the last decade or so. And anyone who is on the phone call or on the call now, I just want to say thank you so very much for all of your support over the years. So now a little bit about what we're doing now. So kind of in the same spirit of supporting community-based organizations that are serving vulnerable populations in San Francisco, one need that has come to my attention over the last 6 months or so is the need for supplemental groceries for a lot of organizations that are providing groceries that are that the food bank is providing sort of these bulk grocery bags, but and to no fault of the food bank at all, but sometimes they're not able to provide everything that people need or want. In particular, cultural food items such as beans and tortillas for the Latinx community. I think that is a community in the city that has been hit especially hard by the virus. So for those individuals, the food bank just really isn't able, to gather, a lot of tortillas, which is something they really like, or just dried beans, even things as like rice. And also, there are other things as well, like even simple pasta. it's just not readily available. So what we decided to do is sort of pivot our program to collecting non-perishable food items that are specifically requested and tailored to the needs of the population that these particular organizations are serving. So one of the organizations that we've been working with is Mission Neighborhood Center. And we have successfully, I think we've had 1 or 2 drives for them. They especially have asked for tortillas, beans, and rice. So we bring them sort of, you know, those items. We've been collecting them on Sundays, and we collect as much as we can from the parish, from parishioners, and then we bring them over there. If you're wondering why that picture has a smiley face on it, that is because someone in my family did it, dropped it off for me, but they refused to have their picture in this presentation. So I wanted to just show you where it was going and to sort of give a sense of what we're doing. It's not a very high-tech operation, but I can tell you that you know, Mission Neighborhood Center in particular serves the Mission District, and you know, their Mission Neighborhood Center works with children, you know, sort of preschool age children all the way up through you know, older adults. So you know, we sort of, with this particular outreach effort, we're sort of able to sort of help many generations with this particular supplemental food drive. And these are just a couple of photos that Mission Neighborhood Center shared with me last week. And, you know, I just think that it's a very, you know, they're lovely photos and they're very heartwarming. And I wanted to take a few minutes also to talk about some of the things we've recently done, because this is another organization that we have been reaching out to provide additional services or additional supplemental. In this particular case, it was actually food, which was the Thanksgiving pie drive for Bayview Senior Services. And with that, we were able to collect 120 sweet potato and apple pies. They were both homemade and purchased pies. And the very neat thing about the purchased pies is that many of the pies, we had connected with a local Black-owned bakery in the Bayview neighborhood, and were able to connect individuals who wanted to maybe not bake pies, but wanted to contribute, that they were able to purchase the pies through, the name of the bakery was Yvonne's Southern Sweets. And this, you know, in terms of, we've all heard a lot about, you know, inequity and in our city. And this was a way for not only to provide, you know, sort of these special pies, but also to support, you know, support a Black-owned business. And then another just more recent thing is we did Christmas cookies for Bayview Senior Services. And it was a really amazing, the generosity from everyone was extraordinary. 1,500 cookies. We set up kind of very similar to what we'll be out there doing today. Set up a collection area on Parker Street. And these cookies were included in gift bags for Bayview Senior Service clients. And again, it's very little, but it really made a huge difference to a lot of these older adults that are, in many cases isolated, not going to get very many sort of, gifts for the holidays. It was, it was a very joyous activity, if you will. So sort of how to help us right now is on the second and fourth Sundays to bring the food items that we're requesting to the parish. We have a table like today. We have a table that's set up between 11 a.m. and 12:30 to collect, whatever those specific items are that we're asking for. Another way to help is to volunteer to be a table worker on Sundays. And here you can sign up, very similar to if you were, if you've been a shelter meal volunteer before. You just basically go on to the website and you sign up to be a table worker. And last but not least, you can donate to the shelter meal program. And this will help us, even though we're not cooking, we will be purchasing food items and supplies for some of these nonprofits that are providing groceries. So it may be that Bayview Senior Services, for example, serves predominantly the Black African American community in the Bayview district, and they have a food pantry program. But a lot of those, again, with the food bank, they're not able to get all the some of the things that they would prefer eating in terms of vegetables. So, one item that is, that they really like to have in their bags is, fresh greens. And, again, the food bank, again, no fault to the food bank, but they can't always provide that at the volume that they need. And one thing I do want to mention is that, I guess I'm asking really, is that the one thing that we do ask that you not do is to bring items that we are not asking for. Again, this is a very tailored, very strategic food drive. And it's not that, we're not appreciative, but honestly, I won't be able to we won't be able to distribute those, I guess. These organizations are looking for very specific things. So, and if you bring stuff that, I've done a lot of food drives in the past, and it's tempting, I know, to like go through your closet and sort of say, oh, this is about to expire, I'm going to pass it off. But the truth is, I can't do anything with it. We're not going to be able to do anything with it, and I'm just probably going to end up throwing it out. So please don't do that. That's my one sort of ask. And then just in terms of, we are exploring more ways to help organizations in our community, and we are definitely sort of focused on the smaller organizations. So I've mentioned two. There are other organizations that we're actively reaching out to right now to see how we can support them through sort of a grocery drive. And again, just who the meal coordinators are at this time. Besides myself, it's Therese and Bill. And our contact information is on the shelter meal website, or the church website, under social ministries and the shelter meal program. Please feel free to reach out to us at any time, email or call. We're available to talk about the program. Also very, very open to hearing suggestions, any ideas that you might have, or even if there's an organization that's in the city that you think would benefit from having us direct a particular food, grocery drive, please let us know. We love to hear from you. And that's it. That's my short and sweet presentation. I really thank everyone for their time and listening. I'm happy to try to answer, any questions you have about the program. And that's it. Thank you.